Tacoma Tire Size Guide. What fits with and without a lift? Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. And that's right, this is the definitive tire size guide for the Toyota Tacoma. You know, I looked and looked and looked, and I finally found something that would answer the question, what fits on the Toyota Tacoma, both with and without a lift? Now I'm talking about avoiding the rub, any problems. So I found a chart right here. I will post this somewhere in the video, so make sure you watch the whole thing if you're curious. You know, it is the Christmas season. Maybe you're out looking for new tires for your truck. Maybe somebody's going to get you some. So here we go. First of all, this is the max size tire for the stock wheel. Now that means that if you put any other wheel on there, you have to make sure, according to this information, that it has the same offset as what the stock tire does. Now, that's because when you change the offset, move it in or move it out, you're gonna be risking rub, and none of us want that. Ask me how I know, because I found it out the hard way. So let's start. This is the max tire size with no lift. For a 15-inch wheel, it's 265/75 R15. Now, for a 16-inch, it's 265/75 R16. That's going to give you a 1-inch taller tire with the factory width. Then we have a 17-inch wheel. It's 265/70 R17. That's going to be 1 inch taller as well with factory width. Lastly, 18-inch. You can put on a 265/70 R18. It'll be 1 inch taller, once again, still factory width. Now, let's say you want to lift. You want to put something maybe a little bit bigger on there. So you go to a 2-inch lift. That's what I have on my truck right now. 2 inches in the front, stock in the back. So, or at least close to 2 inches. I know it's a little bit less. It's like 1 3/4 inches, something like that. But for the sake of argument, we'll say it's 2 inches. 15-inch wheel. You can go with a 265/75 R17. And that's really not any different, I suppose, than with the 15-inch non-lift. A 16-inch wheel, you can go with a 265/75 R16. It'll be 1 inch taller, still factory width. With a 17-inch wheel, you can go 275/70 R17. It'll be a 1.5 inch taller tire and 0.4 inches wider than the factory tire. With an 18-inch, you can go to a 275/70 R18. It'll be a 1.5 inch taller tire, again with a 0.4 inch wider than factory width. So what about a 3-inch lift? This is the most common by far, I think. A lot of people go with a 3-inch lift in the front and an 1.5 or inch, maybe 2 inches in the back. I think typically the most common is probably a 3.2, 2 inches in the back. So with a 15-inch, forget about it. Don't even bother. With a 16-inch, you can go 285/75 R16. It's a 2-inch taller tire, 0.8 inches bigger in width. With a 17-inch wheel, you can go to a 285/70 R17. It'll be 2 inches taller and 0.8 inches wider, the same. And the big daddy, the 18. The 18-inch wheel, you can go with a 275/70 R18. It'll be 2.6 inches taller. And when I say taller, we're comparing it to stock. 2.6 inches taller, 0.4 inches wider. Now, I want to stress, this again is assuming that you maintain the same offset as what the stock tire is. Because when you go to these taller tires and you make them wider, and you move them out a little bit, you're gonna start nicking the front fender area, maybe the body mount in the back. It's gonna cause all kinds of troubles. You may have to do some trimming, you may have to do some cutting, you may have to get rid of the front bumper altogether and go with something that allows for that new tire. Now, I wanted to put this out there because, you know, I started modding my Tacomas back with my 2018. And I went through several iterations before I found something that actually works. On my 2018, I actually had a 20-inch wheel and a 295, I think it was, tire. It was huge. And I had issues, not to mention the ride quality was absolutely terrible. And that's another thing to pay attention to when you're doing this. Don't kill your ride quality. Keep a good tread wall on there so that you can absorb all the bumps and stuff out there. As soon as you go to a more narrow tread wall, you're gonna have a much, much firmer ride. You know, a while back I was out driving somewhere and I saw what I think was a Suburban maybe it was an Expedition, I don't know, but it was a big giant SUV. And they had these great big chrome wheels, that's right, chrome, with this teeny tiny, I swear it was about this much tread wall. That's it. It's like they were riding basically on the wheel itself. I can only imagine how horrible the ride was on that truck. And what I mean by that, picture not having any tire, right? Picture driving around on just the wheels themselves, if you could do that without damaging the wheel. Could you imagine what kind of ride you would have with that? You'd be sitting on metal wheels, riding across the road, bumps, stones, sticks, whatever it is, and that is gonna transfer right through the truck right to you. It would be horrible. Again, I don't know how they were driving around with that setup, but there is no way I would ever go down to less than probably at least a 4-inch tread wall, probably better, more like 6, just to maintain the ride quality of the truck that you have. Now, the problem with that, if you go too much, well then you're gonna be like driving around on donuts, right? You're gonna have this little teeny tiny wheel and this great big giant tread wall. While the ride quality is probably great, probably would do pretty good off-road, air down a little bit too, but I can't imagine how that would look. I've seen trucks with what I consider to be too small of a wheel. Just not a good look, I don't think. Not for me. Of course, it's personal preference. You've always got to get what you like. Anyway, that is the definitive Toyota Tacoma Tire Size Guide. I found this to be pretty accurate from other research I've done on the web since, and I think it's a good rule to go by so that you don't have any problems rubbing or hitting inside that fender wall with your new setup. Anyway, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Does this sound reasonable to you, or have you put some bigger sizes on with that different offset and not had any issues? I'd be shocked. Leave a comment, let me know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra, and Robmotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.